Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. Have a nice day. So, we are group 6, I think, or group 5. So, please listen to us and thank you. So, Article 11, Jurisdiction over dangerous drugs cases. So, Section 90, Jurisdiction. The Supreme Court shall designate as special courts from among the existing regional trial courts in each judicial region to exclusively try and hear cases involving violations of this act. The number of courts designated in each judicial region shall be based on the population and the number of cases pending in their respective jurisdiction. So the DOJ shall designate special prosecutors to exclusively handle cases involving violations of this act. So ang DOJ is nag-designate sila sa special prosecutors to handle cases involving violations of this act, Section 90, the jurisdiction. So the preliminary investigation of cases filed under this act shall be terminated within a period of 30 days from the date of their filing. So na sila 30 days pag-file. When the preliminary investigation is conducted by a public prosecutor and probable cause is established, the corresponding information shall be filed in court within 24 hours from the termination of the investigation. So na sila 24 hours daw. If the katong 24 hours is na-conduct sila og prosecutor in a probable cause is established, the corresponding information shall be filed. So katong 24 hours. And if the preliminary investigation is conducted by a judge and probable cause is found to exist, the corresponding information shall be filled by the proper prosecutor within 48 hours from the date of receipt of the records of the cause. So na sila hours lang, 48 hours. So pila ba ng 48 hours? So next is trial of the cause under this section shall be finished by the court not later than 60 days. Dapat mauman nila finish by the court not later than dapat dili maabot sa 60 days from the date of the filing of the information decision on said. Dapat umanon ginila before 60 days. Cases shall be rendered within a period of 15 days from the date of submission of the case for resolution. So dapat magpasa na mo sa 15 days pa lang. And next is Section 91. So Section 91 is responsibility and liability of the law enforcement agencies and other government officials and employees in testifying as prosecution witnesses in dangerous drugs cases. So ang Section 91 is mga drug cases responsibility and liability of law enforcement agencies. and other government officials and employees in testifying as a prosecution witness sa drug cases. So, any member of law enforcement agencies or any other government official and employee who after due notice fails or refuses internationally or negligently to appear as a witness for the prosecution and any proceedings involving violations of this act without any valid reasons shall be punished with imprisonment of not less than 12 years with imprisonment of not less than 12 years and 1 day to 20 years. 12 years and 1 day to 20 years. Fine of not less than 500,000 pesos. In addition to the administrative liability, he or she may be meted out by his or her immediate superior and or appropriate body. The immediate superior of the member of the law enforcement agency or any other government employees mentioned in the preceding paragraph shall be penalized with imprisonment of not less than 2 years, I mean 2 months and 1 day, but not more than 6 years, and a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos only, but not more than 50,000 pesos, and in addition, perpetual absolute disqualification from public office is despite due notice to them and to the witness concerned. The former does not exert reasonable effort to present the latter to the court The member of the law enforcement agency or any other government employee mentioned in the preceding paragraph shall not be transferred or reassigned to any other government office located in other territorial jurisdiction during the pendency of the cause in court. However, the concerned member of the law enforcement agency or government employee may be transferred or reassigned for compelling reasons, provided that his or her immediate superior shall be notified. Superior shall be penalized. Shall notify the court where the case is pending of the order to transfer or reassign within 24 hours from its approval, provided further that his or her immediate superior shall be penalized with imprisonment of not less than 2 months and 1 day, but more than 6 years, and a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos, but not more than 50 pesos. In addition, perpetual absolute disqualification from public office shall be his or her fail to notify the court of such order to transfer or reassign. Prosecution and punishment under this section shall be without prejudice to any liability for violation of any existing law. So, thank you.
Section 92. Delay and bungling in the prosecution of drug case. Any government officer, employee tasked with the prosecution of drug-related case under this act, who through patient laxity, excusable neglect, unreasonable delay or deliberately cause the unsuccessful prosecution and or dismissal of the said drug case shall suffer the penalty of imprisonment ranging from 12 years and 1 day to 20 years without prejudice to his her prosecution under the pertinent provision of revised penal code. Section 93. Reclassification, addition or removal of any drug from the list of dangerous drugs. The board shall have the power to reclassify, add to or remove from the list of dangerous drugs. Proceedings to reclassify and or remove drug or other substance may be initiated by PDEA, the DOH, or by petition from any interested party, including the manufacturer of a drug, medical society or association of pharmacy, association of public interest group concerned with drug abuse as national or local government agency or an individual citizen. When a petition or received by the board shall immediately begins or investigation of drug. The PDEA also may begin investigation of drug at any time based upon the information received from law enforcement laboratories, national and local law enforcement and regulatory agencies or other source of information.
The Republic Act 9165, Section 94 of the Article 12, implementing rules and regulations. The present board, in consultation with the DOH, DILG, DOJ, DepEd, DSWD, DOLE, PNP, NBI, PAGCOR, and the PCSO, and all other concerned government agencies, shall promulgate within 60 days implementing rules and regulations that shall necessary to implement the provisions of this act. In this policy of the states of safeguard the integrity and the territory well-being in its citizenry, particularly in youth, dangerous drugs on their physical and mental being, and defend some against acts of omission detrimental to their development and preservation. Article 13, the final provisions, Section 95, Congressional Oversight Committee. There is hereby created a Congressional Oversight Committee composed of 7 members from the Senate and 7 members from the House of Representatives. The members from Senate shall be appointed by the Senate President based on the proportional representation of the parties or coalitions therein, with at least 2 senators representing the minority. The members of the House of Representatives shall be appointed by the Speaker, also based on proportional representation of the parties or coalition therein, with at least 2 members representing the minority. The committee shall be headed by the prospective chairperson of the Senate Committee on Public Order and Illegal Drugs and the House of Representatives Committee on the Dangerous Act. So, in Section 95, there should be 7 members from the Oversight Committee will compose 7 members from the Senate and 7 members also from the House of Representatives, and The members of the Senate shall be appointed by the Senate of the President, and there are there are parties of coalition, at least 2 senators representing the minority. So section 96, power and functions of the Oversight Committee. The Oversight Committee on the Dangerous Drugs Act shall, in aid of legislation, perform the following function among others: to set the guidelines and our framework to monitor and ensure the proper implementation of this act, to ensure transparency and acquire submission reports from government agencies concerned on the conduct of the programs, project, and policies relating to the implementation of this act, to approve the budget of the programs of the Oversight Committee on the Dangerous Drugs Act and all disbursement thereof, including compensation and all personnel, to submit periodic reports to the President of the Philippines and Congress on the implementation of the provision of this act, and to determine the inherent weakness in the law recommendation, the necessary remedial legislation and executive measures, and last, to perform such other duties, functions, and responsibilities as may be necessary to effectively attain the objectives of this act.
Good day, everyone. I am Oberis Ninyoy from Bachelor of Science in Criminology. I am here to report to you the Article 13, Section 97 and 98. Section 97. Adoption of Committee Rules and Regulations and Funding. The Oversight Committee on Drugs shall adopt its internal rules of procedure, conduct hearings and receive testimonies, reports, and technical advice, invite or summon by subpoena and testificandum any public official, private citizen, or any person to testify before it, or require any person by subpoena, ducis tecum, document, or other materials as it may require, consistent with the provision of this act. Here in Article 13, Section 97, Adoption of Committee Rules and Regulations and Funding. Ang Oversight Committee on Dangerous Drugs, dapat sila mag-adapt or mag-observe sa internal rules of procedures sama sa pag-conduct og hearings. Dapat sila nga mag-receive silang mga testimonies, magbuhat silang mga reports, and they take some technical advices from others, invite or summon by subpoena or ad testificandum any public official, and they are private citizen or any other person to testify for it, or require any person by subpoena, ducis tecum, documents, or other materials that may require, consistent with the provision of this act. And subpoena, ducis tecum document, it means that subpoena for production of evidence or producing a book of evidence. Kana silbi document siya nga i-produce sa isa ka tawo nga gihatagan siya og tahas gikan sa taas nga magbuhat siya og book baka diya sa mga ebidensya para makompile niya. And these are the procedures to be followed by the Committee on Dangerous Drugs. Next, the Oversight Committee on Dangerous Drugs shall be assisted by a secretariat to be composed by personnel whom is seconded from the Senate and the House of Representatives, and may retain consultants. Ang oversight sa Committee on Dangerous Drugs shall be assisted by a secretariat, and it shall be composed sa mga personnel nga isa ka seconded from Senate and the House of Representatives. Dapat mao na sila ang sulod sa sila ang makompose ang mga personnel nga gikan sa Senate o sa House of Representatives. To carry out the powers and functions the Oversight Committee on Dangerous Drugs, the initial sum of 25 million pesos shall be charged against the current appropriations of the Senate. Thereafter, such amount necessary for its continued operation shall be included in the Annual General Appropriation Act To carry out the power and functions of the Committee of Dangerous Acts, Dangerous Drugs, they are given the sum of 25 million pesos to continue the operations, and ang such amount necessary for its para mapadayon ang ilang operations, ma-include na din na siya dito sa Annual General Appropriations Act. Next is the Oversight Committee on Dangerous Drugs shall exist for a period of 10 years from the effectivity of this act and may be extended by a joint concurrent resolution. The Oversight Committee on Dangerous Drugs exists in 10 years and pwede pa siya ma-extend pinaagi sa joint concurrent.
Next is Section 99, Separability Clause. If, for any reason, any section or provision of this Act, or any portion thereof, or the application of such section, provision of portion thereof, to any person, group, or circumstances, is declared invalid or unconstitutional, the remainder of this act shall not be affected by such declaration and shall remain in force and effect. So, mao na siya ang separability clause. So, kung ano daw, kung ang anumang section or provision ng batas na ito ay idinaklara na labag or labag sa konstitusyon o hindi wasto, ang iba pang mga section or ang provision na hindi apektado doon ay mananatiling ganap daw na may bisa at bisa. So, mao na siya sa separability clause. So, next is section 100, repealing clause. Republic number 6425 as amended is hereby repealed and all other laws, administrative orders, rules and regulations, or parts thereof inconsistent with the provisions of this act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. So, repealing clause is all laws, decrees, orders, resolutions, instructions and rules and regulations or parts thereof which is inconsistent with this act are hereby deemed repealed or modified accordingly. So, lahat daw ng batas, kautusan, mga resolution, tagubilin at mga tuntunin at regulasyon o mga bahagi nito na hindi na ayon sa batas na ito ay itinuturing na pinawalang bisa o binago ng naaayon. So, mauna siya sa repealing clause. So, next is section 101. Amending clause. Republic Act number 7659 is hereby amended accordingly. Next is section 102. Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days upon its publication in at least 2 national newspaper of general circulation. So, mauna siya sa section 102, the effectivity. That's all. Thank you.